Alright guys, today we're out in the garage with a few e-bikes. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Yamaha and the Yamaha Interface X. This is mated to a Yamaha PW-X3 motor. Now you don't see a Yamaha out here, but that Yamaha PW-X3 is in a lot of manufacturers' bikes, not just Yamaha's. And the Interface X specifically is on a lot of those bikes. I've got the Yamaha Quick Start manual here, and it isn't all that helpful. You know, like it looks like a fairly big manual, but most of it is in other languages other than my own. So really there's just 2 pages that are relevant here. And when I look at the 2 pages that are relevant, let me see if I can find the language here, which would be English. Here we go. So this is what you got. And I know you probably can't see that, but it's not all that informative. You know, they say that the Interface X display is this minimalist display. It is super minimalist. It's pretty crude actually, but at the end of the day, this system's a really good system. This little Yamaha motor is very compact. It's a full 85 Newton meter motor. It happens to be, in this case, on a gas, but you'll find them, like I said, on a lot of different bikes that are out there besides the Yamaha. So the PW-X3, great motor. This is a great system, but it's not all that intuitive to figure out how it works. So today I'm going to demystify this whole Interface X thing and how it works. And when you get to the end of this, you'll be pretty impressed with this motor package. I know I am, and I really like this system. So let's get into it and walk through this and all the different modes. All right, first off, let's talk about the setup I have here. Now the Yamaha, one of the great things about it is there's tons of interface capabilities. So let's talk about a few of those real quick so you understand what I'm looking at. Here is the Interface X, of course, that we're going to be talking about. It has these 4 LEDs on. This is just the battery level. So that's, you know, fully charged sort of thing. And then you got the mode lights. Here's the mode selector. So when I push this mode button, I get the different modes. That's what we're going to talk about. But like I said, the other thing is you have these interfaces. Now, this is a Garmin Edge 830, and this is the Yamaha interface. So this is actually wirelessly connected to the Yamaha motor system. Over here, I have the Speedbox interface. Now the Speedbox, I have a whole nother video on. I'll put a link in the description. And the Speedbox basically is a chip that's installed with the Yamaha PW-X3. It's installed down in the housing here. It's actually in there. There's a little chip, and it wirelessly connects to this app. Okay, the reason this Speedbox app is important is because it's giving you some additional information that's actually really important. So that little 92 right there, that is the battery level. So instead of looking at these lights here, you know, I don't know when the lights start dropping off, but I imagine it's like 25% intervals. So probably at like 75%, right, it's going to drop off. But this is showing you the actual 92% on the battery. The other important thing is showing you is the battery is actually in the off mode right now. So if I come over and hit the button up 1 and put it up into a assist level, now I'm in Eco Plus. Now I'm in Eco, so you can see all those modes. Over here, you're also seeing those modes. So right now you're looking at the assist levels, and it's just giving you bar graphs. It's not really telling you much more than that, right? It's not telling you it's Eco, Eco Plus, whatever. But you can see that it does give you that status on the various modes as you operate through them. All right, now we're in standard mode. All right, so it's 3 lights. It's actually 3 lights down here as well. Okay, so that's the setup. So let's talk about each of the modes. And I said, you know, there is 5 power assist modes, but there's 2 other modes that are super important, and one of them I use a lot, and I want to talk about those. So let's talk about all the modes now and make sure that you understand what all of this means and the various light displays and how to get in these modes. Okay, so let's go through the various modes. Let's go through the first 5 power levels, and then we'll talk about those other 2 that I mentioned. So the first one you're going to go into, and I push the mode select or the assistant select. I got the 1 bar over here, I got 1 blue light, and I'm now in Eco Plus. Okay, I go up another one, and I'm in Eco. All right, so there you go. 2 lights, go up again, and I'm in what's called standard mode. Now that's a pretty important mode. Remember that. That's 3 lights on the Interface X. Okay, go up another one, and now I'm in high power mode. Now high power mode is a really strong mode, and it's one I use a lot, but there's also another one that I'll talk about later that's also really important. So you can see everything's changed there. Now that's level number 4, and there's only 4 lights. So now if I go into the next level, the lights turn yellow, right? So now I've got 4 yellow lights. I'm in my max output here, and I'm what's called EXPW, which is really like, I believe it stands for extra power mode. All right, so those are your 5 basic power modes on this system. Now if I go down, I'll go back to the mode down below. You'll see it goes back to the green lights, and I'm back in high. All right. All right, now 2 more modes that are not very easy to find in the operator's manual, but are really important. Let's cover those. Okay, so the first mode that you're not going to see on here is the walk assist mode. Now the walk assist mode on the Yamaha system, there's a little button right here that you push to get you in walk mode. So when you push that button, I think it's like 3 seconds, then you push and hold the down button on the assist mode lever, or on the assist mode button I should say. So let's go ahead and go into walk mode. So I push this, then I push and hold. And you can see that it's now in walk assist, and it's helping you along. Now look at what it did to the LEDs. Now we've got a purple LED along with the other LEDs, and everything up here is just staying in the same mode it was in before. So now if I release the button and take it out of walk mode, it comes out of walk mode, and it goes back into the mode it was in before. So it's back in high, right? And so that is how you get in and out of walk mode. Pretty simple to do. Now this next mode is the mode I use the most on this bike, and I think it's really super useful. And this is the auto mode. So let's go ahead and put it in auto mode. To put it in auto mode, all you do is push and hold the assist button, the up button, or the plus button. And we're just going to watch what happens here when I do that. I push and hold, and you can see I've got a blue indicator and 2 green. Now basically, if you have 3 LEDs, that means you're in standard mode. So it's showing standard mode on everything, but this is really auto mode. So when you start pedaling in this mode, it basically just steps through all the different modes. So if you're going up a hill, and there is incline sensors in this motor, if you start going up a hill, it's going to switch into either high mode, or it's going to switch into extra power mode, right? It's just going to step into those modes automatically. You don't touch anything. When you start going down a hill, it might drop into Eco or even Eco Plus. And you'll see the lights change when it's going through the modes. You'll see the modes change on the Garmin, and you'll see the modes change and step through on the Speedbox if you happen to have that, right? So that's full auto, and it'll just stay there. When you stop pedaling, it'll go back to the standard mode. That's always where it starts and always where it finishes. But like I said, you can enter auto mode from any other mode. So if you just push and hold that up button long enough, it'll enter this mode, and then when it comes out, it goes back to standard mode, always to standard mode. It doesn't go back to the last mode it was in. So again, I always use this mode. I'm just going to push and hold, it'll take it back out. So now it's just all green, and I'm still in standard. I'll put it in the lowest, Eco Plus. I'll push and hold. Goes into auto, which is indicated by the little blue indicator up there, and it says standard everywhere. I'll take it out now, and it finishes back off in standard. It doesn't go back to that last mode you're in. So that is the Interface X super simple. One other thing I want to kind of talk about with the Speedbox, if you operate the light mode, I'm just gonna, let me just put this in, let me open up this here. So you can see the tuning's off right now. If I hit the light button, it toggles between tuning on, which basically means no speed limit, and back to normal, whatever you have it set for as the default, right? Assist speed. So the Speedbox can be operated off the light button if you happen to have a Speedbox, and it's a great option to have. So that's one useful purpose of this light switch button. There's also a USB port on here, and you can charge your phone with that or your Garmin or whatever. I never really use it, but it's there if you ever needed it. So that's it, guys. That is the Yamaha Interface X, and it's mated to the Yamaha PW-X3. It's a great system. Lots of different modes. It's a very powerful motor. It's a very quiet motor. I really like it. I hope that helped. If you guys have any questions about the Yamaha Interface X or any of this integration here with the Interface X, just let me know. There's some videos out there on the internet that you can find on how you Bluetooth, or this is actually ANT plus interface to the motor or to the system. So there's a lot of video on that. So anyway, hopefully that helps, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you on the trail.